Alright, what's going on, everybody? I want to talk about the high speed rail that they attempted to do in California. There's many reasons why they should have never tried to make this in California, especially going down California. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But I kind of want to point out why really liberal governments should not try to do super ambitious projects. All right, this was approved in 2008 at a cost of roughly $10 billion, which is a lot of money for a project that's only in one state, you know? But that's liberals for you. They don't seem to care about money all that much. Because, us taxpayers, we fund everything, and they're cool with that. They don't mind taking our money. But, yeah, they are canceling this project after it's already cost over, I want to say they've already spent over $5 billion on it, and it's still not even close to being completed. Well, there's a good reason why it's almost impossible to build this thing where they're trying to build it. They did people in charge, the Democrat lawmakers and whatnot, did they forget they have major fault lines that go right through California? You're trying to build a railway system over fault lines. Look what happens to their bridges whenever there's a rumble in the earth. They crack and have to be repaired. Now imagine a railroad track, a high-speed railroad track, where if something got skewed by just a few little degrees, it could cause a massive catastrophe for all involved on board a freaking train going very fast. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't think Democrats really think before they introduce anything. I mean, like I said, it's a 1997 study showed that the high-speed rail system would be more expensive than flying or driving at a cost of $10 billion. But they didn't care. They didn't care. In 2000, the figure was pegged at $20 billion. By 2008, the high-speed rail from Los Angeles to San Francisco was estimated to cost $33 billion. So, as you can see, like every few years, the cost is going up by billions. I mean, billions. Now they're saying to finish the entire high-speed rail would cost $77 billion. And this is taxpayer money. It's not only their local taxes, state taxes, this is federal taxpayer money. So me over here on the East Coast, for some reason I've been paying for a pie-in-the-sky rail system in California, which benefits no one but people that live in California. So I don't like that. But I'll digress from that. But yeah, and there are also other people that say it will cost over $100 billion to complete this. And of course, the mismanagement of the whole situation has been grossly negligent. They have just been getting all these funds from the taxpayers, like I said, state and federal, and they're just wasting it. They've been wasting it on this stupid rail system. Oh, good. It's just, this is what we get from pie-in-the-sky liberals. They sit there and they take our money to try to do something super ambitious, and they just throw the money into space. It goes nowhere. It ends up in some lobbyist pocket or something. You know, it always ends up somewhere it's not supposed to end up. Now, what's really funny to me is we've already given them billions in federal taxpayer monies. And Gavin Newsom from California, governor from California, he is saying he's not going to give back any of that money, any of that federal money, because he doesn't want Trump to use it possibly for the wall. I don't know if he can do that. If federal money was allocated to a certain project and that project is being, you know, put on hold or just scrapped altogether, why does he need that money still? You know? What grounds does he have to keep that money that was allocated to a specific project? So I think we're going to see something weird happen there. There might be a legal battle over that money. But this brings me to another point. Everyone knows that the Democrats are always pushing stuff like universal health care and Medicaid for all, Medicare for all. Yeah, that's around a 21 to 22 trillion dollar situation they're talking about per year. Pretty much. Like this would it would be $22 trillion, I think, for around 10 years, actually. Not 1 year, excuse me. My head got too many numbers floating around. But, this little situation with the train shows how they just don't grasp money. They don't get it. They just wasted so many billions of dollars on something that'll never get completed now. It's just gone. All that money's just evaporated. And that money could have been used for actually important things. You know, they always want to talk about these social welfare programs that they love. How about using it to clean up the streets of California? You know, streets of California kind of are reminiscent of New York City in the early freaking 1900s, where there was 4 feet of manure, you know, because everyone used horse and buggy. But unfortunately today, it's not usable manure like horse manure. It's people waste. How about using that money to, instead of giving these addicts and stuff safe places where they can take their drugs and shoot up in front of people, medical people, how about get these people off the drugs they're using? You know? Make a giant rehab facility. You know how many rehab facilities you could have made with all that money? Start job programs. But they don't do this because they don't think. They don't care about people. They care about ideas. And they're usually a ridiculous idea. Everyone knows by now the Green New Deal. But no one has asked, where's this money going to come from? I know a lot of us, taxpayers and whatnot, have asked, where the hell would we come up with the money for this? Problem is, we couldn't come up with enough money for that to save our butts, you know? There's not enough money in the United States even printed to even put a dent in that type of fairy tale. This is why you can't just sit here and let the federal government play with our money like this. You know, back in the day, a long way back in the day, a long time ago, we used to fight the government over this. Like, we would literally fight a war with a government that would mess with our tax money and all that stuff, you know? Think about it. It's like kind of the beginning of America's history as America. We didn't take no crap from governments. We kind of need to get back to that. I know everyone is pretty lazy nowadays when it comes to actually fighting for things that need to be fought for. But we need to do it. Because this is, I mean, Republicans and conservatives are not going to be in office forever. We know that. That's not how the system works. And as soon as the liberals get put back into the sway of the presidency and all that stuff, they're going to be throwing all kinds of crazy programs that are going to cost us taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. When we have a debt ceiling that just keeps climbing, I mean, national debt's at $22 trillion. That's a lot of money. I think the average taxpayer's debt is 66. You're pretty much, you're born into, I think it was $130,000 debt. And the average taxpayer, that's just the average regular citizen. And that doesn't pay taxes and whatnot. Taxpayer debt, the average person's up at $66,000. So even if you think you're debt free, really you're not. You have $66,000 debt hanging over your head because of our government and their complete retardation of how to spend our money. We should really fight about this. This is something everybody, whether you're a liberal, whether you're conservative, we need to be up in arms about this, because this is an American travesty that we are letting our government just spend our money. And it's not like, oh, it's democratic, we voted. No, we don't. We, the people, our country are not a democracy. We're a representative republic. And when our representatives up there in Washington are being foolish and voting on stuff without us ever being able to see it, that's a problem. And everyone should have a problem with that. I don't exactly, I mean, I know ways we could go about trying to fix that, but it would be a complete overhaul of our system, and that would be crazy. But maybe it's something we the people need to do. We need to start arguing about. This is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. And these pie in the sky ideas that all these liberals are putting forth, I mean, there's, what is it? How many is there now? There's there's probably close to 10 or 11 Democrats that want to run for presidency. And out of those, I think 4 or 5 of them fully support the Green New Deal, which the Green New Deal would destroy our economy. It would destroy everything. So we need to wake up. Everyone needs to do some research. Look at the numbers that the government's already putting out and be outraged about it. Because a lot of our money doesn't even go to our country. We're sending it off in foreign aid. I don't think we should be doing that either. All these other countries, they need to start fending for themselves. And we need to keep our money kind of in-house. It would solve some problems. It wouldn't solve everything, but it would solve some problems. But let me stop because I am ranting. So I will catch y'all on the flip side. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll catch y'all later.